This is not Inman, Nicole. This
Deep
is
breath.
Mansion Global. Mansion Global article, which Mansion Global, many of you are very familiar with, especially those that are marketing in the high end. We have 66 High Street, our new development here on Mansion Global. It's a Wall Street Journal independent branch or site through Barron's. Okay. Anyways, they had an article that we got a text as recently
as this morning. It was what time? Maybe 5 a.m.
I've seen it all over locally.
4 a.m.
Social media.
Not that it matters.
Because it talked about a very local market as well as other markets throughout the country, but it did talk about a local market here in Connecticut. I have had numerous texts, people saying, wow, didn't know. Headline is an end of the summer frenzy for the U.S. housing market. Absolutely true. We've been talking about that. Of course. Market's been great.
Yep.
The volume, speed, and price of home sales all set records in September, Redfin says. So basically, whoever wrote this article, Fang Block, Fang basically took information from Redfin, stopped there, didn't go deep, probably had a deadline from somebody at Wall Street Journal, Mansion Global, slapped this thing up, and there are a lot of inaccuracies. We're going to go through those right now. Sorry, Fang, but this is what we do here, all right?
He's being nice to Fang right now.
This is the real word.
He was not being nice to Fang before this started.
This is not the fake word. This is the real word, okay? So, listen, no offense to Fang, but Fang probably, maybe a Harvard or Yale grad, probably somebody very smart, writing articles for the Mansion Global, probably not a real estate expert, okay? Fang, if you are, love to have you on. We could debate that. Anyways, moving on. This is where we got text messages. This is where we've seen a lot of information locally, okay? Bridgeport, Connecticut, right down the road. We've done plenty of deals in Bridgeport this year as a team, all right? Bridgeport, Connecticut led the U.S. with the largest increases in sales and median price. The Metro's median sale price increased 33.1% year over year to $499,000, with 1,811 homes sold, an 80.2 increase year over year. So I'm getting these text messages. We're in some of these text messages together.
Yep.
We're seeing it online. I'm like, whoa. I know all of our markets are going great. We're going over the numbers all the time. We're actually doing shows on our One & Company team page here locally. We're talking about this stuff. Did not realize that there were 1,800 homes in Bridgeport. There's usually about 1,000 sales or under, maybe about 800 a year in any given year in Bridgeport. I'm like, this just seems crazy. So as a real estate licensed agent and a professional in my area, what did I do? I went on the MLS, the multiple listing service. Here we go. I go on the MLS and I look and I go to Bridgeport. I go to Bridgeport because that's what they said in the article, Bridgeport.
Right.
I go Bridgeport. I go closings. I go year to date, January 1 to today, which happens to be November 20th. This article is not on November 20th, so it's even a little bit older. Total closings, year to date, 882. They have 1,811. So then I see the price point, $499,000. I know that's not, I just intuitively know that's not Bridgeport's median price point.
Right.
Nothing against Bridgeport. Bridgeport's done great this year, by the way. I'll share that with you right now. Bridgeport is actually up 35.4% for single family homes. 35.4%. Fantastic number.
Fabulous number.
Okay, but their median price point's $267,450. So when you're local and you see a national report, Wall Street Journal, reputable publication, Mansion Global branch of Wall Street Journal, or any of these, you can clump them all together, all these big, huge news outlets that have they want to do a real estate article and they touch on the top 10 cities. We saw that one.
I think it was top 5.
They pulled that from this.
Yeah, Bridgeport was top 5,
They pulled that from this data.
Right.
With that other article. There was another article now that people are writing off of this Mansion Global. And so people here locally are like, wow, yay, go Bridgeport. But they're headline reading and they're really, if you read the article, not getting any data of what the heck they're talking about.
Right.
And that can be really misleading. That can start to, lead a Bridgeport homeowner to believe our median price point is $499,000
or
when
maybe
it's $267,000.
A Bridgeport homeowner is just pissed off at their agent now because they're like, what the hell?
I have a median home here and you sold it for $300,000,
right?
not $500,000. What the heck is going on? So when you do read the article, it's very clear that they got all their data from Redfin. hello, Mansion Global, Wall Street Journal. If you're just going to get your data only from Redfin, the consumer can just download the Redfin app and do this themselves, okay? I know you're curating information, but maybe use a couple sources. Maybe actually call a local, reputable real estate professional who has access to the MLS, who knows what the heck is going on in their market. That just is a pro tip for you and for any other news publication. They go in here and they lead off by saying, across the 87 largest metro areas Redfin tracks, there were 620,000 homes sold, increasing 17%, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm going to assume and defend Wall Street Journal and Mansion Global on is that when they're talking metro area, they're talking about, and the 1,800 homes would speak to that. We're missing 1,000 homes.
We are missing 1,000 homes.
Right? I guess that would speak to the towns surrounding Bridgeport. If you look up on, and I did that this morning, if you look up Bridgeport, if you just Google Bridgeport metro area, does that mean something different than...
It doesn't give you anything.
In this article, it doesn't say what
nothing, you're not chewing on anything. I mean, it's telling you what is around them. But again, Stamford is so much larger than Bridgeport.
Stamford is not. That's not what this is saying. If you go to Wikipedia, it says Greater Bridgeport. It doesn't say Metro Bridgeport, but whatever. I think Greater Bridgeport, maybe Metro in Redfin's definition is the same thing. Maybe not. But you go in there and you see 5 surrounding towns from Bridgeport as Greater Bridgeport per Wikipedia. They have Easton, Fairfield, Monroe, Stratford, Trumbull. So I went on the MLS and I took those 5 towns.
That would be more than 1,800.
Oh, wildly more, to use your word. Wildly. That's your word, wildly.
Whatever you need to do.
All right. Stole it there for you.
That's good.
So 5 towns, it was like 4,000 sales.
I'm certain of it, because Fairfield's a decent sized town.
Right. So I don't know now what Mansion Global you guys are talking about, because you're not talking about Greater Bridgeport.
Well, for $4.99 you'd have to almost bring Fairfield in on it.
It's got to be just Bridgeport Fairfield. So say that in the article.
Right.
Say it's Bridgeport and Fairfield.
Or at least define what those areas are. What are they? What does metro mean to you? Because I was Googling metro too, because it could just mean a simple city, but like,
I'll tell you, it doesn't mean anything to Mansion Global, because they just ripped off Redfin data.
Right.
This is a lazy article.
It's a hard one.
This is a lazy article from, no offense, just, some kid that they hired that had a deadline. Not their fault, not Fang's fault, or whoever helped Fang. It's a lazy approach to supplying real estate data.
They're doing the line. They're doing a headline.
Yeah.
I mean, it got people's attention. Because the person that we got it from is highly successful in real estate, and then the person that he got it from is another person that's very much involved. These aren't just people. These are like, it's not my mom sending me this being like, oh look, Bridgeport, you were born there. Like, it wasn't my mom. It was like 2 people. It was a chain of people that are very much involved in the real estate market that are then sending it to us. And again, I don't know that he was questioning it, or was he excited about it?
No. It had nothing to do with excited or questioning. It was just more like sharing the information. And so, and this is the problem. And so here's the punchline. A lot of you are real estate agents, brokers, teams listening to this right now. It's our job. It's our responsibility as the pros in our market to educate the market. You should be doing a weekly market update show. You should be putting out monthly or weekly market update stats in the forms of blogs and newsletters. And when you see something like this, you should be talking about it in your local market. We're certainly going to write a side-by-side blog and give people the true facts so they're not misled, so that you're not walking into a listing appointment and your local community is thinking Mansion Global knows what they're talking about and not you, the expert in your market.
Right.
You have the data. You also have the feel for the market, which is even probably better sometimes at times with data, because it's like now in the moment.
Yeah.
But it's our responsibility to make sure when you see something like this, we don't just run with it either and be like, oh, our market's so great. Like, explain it.
Well, I think more now than ever too, and even if it's not in regards to this article, obviously regardless of where you are, it's wildly important, because obviously this information is making headlines.
You went with it wildly.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
You use it all the time, and I found myself using it now because it's wearing off on me, and I don't like it.
You
when
don't
I
like
say
it? Wildly? Really?
No.
Why?
No, because you say it all the time. I don't want to say
so
it.
you just can't because it's mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Exactly.
I think it's obviously really important because there are going to be these headlines where you're going to be going into listing appointments. And to be quite honest, it doesn't even matter if you're going into a listing appointment, because I bet you 9 times out of 10 when you're at the grocery store, someone is asking you how the real estate market is. So I think regardless of where you are, what you're doing, whether there's articles, whether your person or whomever, your mom is reading the articles, it's important to just know the information, know what's happening, know what your price points are, medians, ups, downs. Obviously, it's great information right now. We can say how lovely the market is, but I think knowing the numbers, I mean, we always say that you gotta know your numbers. I mean,
gotta know your numbers.
I mean, this is, and again, this is just more proof that it's important.
Listen, they had the metro median sale price increase 33.1% to $499. But we know with their 1,811 homes, they're including other towns, obviously, to get there. Bridgeport specifically outperformed that. Bridgeport's at 35.4%.
Median price. But what they're saying is year over year. So they're looking at what Redfin said Bridgeport was last year to what Bridgeport is this year.
Bridgeport Metro.
Yes,
so,
Metro, right? Yes.
So really, it really comes down to getting your information. Real estate's a local market, a local business. Local, get your information locally. Source it from the expert in your specific town, because actually Bridgeport 35+% year over year is.
They are doing
well. A little bit better.
I mean, we're not disputing that.
No, Bridgeport's doing fantastic.
Fantastic.
I'm super happy for Bridgeport. I want to see Bridgeport continue to go up, and it's done great. But it is misleading to think that when it says here, Bridgeport, Connecticut led the U.S. and is at a 499,000 with 1,811 homes sold. You're only off by 1,000 homes. No big deal.
And almost $200,000 in median price.
No, almost 250. You're almost off on your median price by 100%. That's pretty inaccurate. Okay, moving on. So that's a huge racket. Probably one of the biggest rackets we found. But
if anything, it allowed us to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at you. You were texting away this morning at 6 a.m.